Hi there! Today I wanted to discuss the importance of employee appreciation days and the employee appreciation strategy as part of our employer branding. We have work anniversaries, we have company celebrations, summer party, holiday parties, all these kind of dates luring around throughout the year. But why do they actually matter, and why should we as employer branding or as people in culture put some effort into it and have a clear strategy around it? We're all struggling to find right talent. People after COVID, what they're trying to find in a job is a little bit different. The idea of purpose is extremely important. The benefits are important, but maybe benefits like pension are a little bit less important than it used to be in the past. It's more about working from home, taking as a perk, as a must, especially with the new announcements. So things have changed, and as people in culture, it's really difficult to adapt to that. So surveys are really important. We need to ask our people, what do you want? What kind of working models do you want? But part of having that whole conversation with our employees, it's really important that we take the time to appreciate them. So the first takeaway and thing that I want to share with you, and you can read my full article in the link, my blog, is let's appreciate each other and be grateful and say thank you. Saying thank you has to come from the leaders. CEOs, co-founders have to be able to embrace a moment in which the company has achieved something. Could be a sales target, could be overperformance, could be an award, whatever the milestone is, take the time to celebrate and communicate it internally to your people. Make them proud, be grateful. I know we all get paid and you can think that that's the exchange, but it's about much more. It's about belonging, it's about feeling part of the organization, understanding the purpose and the mission of the leaders. And that really makes it so important to really take the time to say thank you because A, B, and C. So taking the time to be grateful is essential. And it will also create this culture of recognition and feedback within the organization, where people will take time to acknowledge when someone in their team has helped them. So very important, lead with example. Second step is celebrate your business in numbers. You've given yourself a quota, you want to achieve a specific number, you want to sell X million, billions. When you achieve it, embrace it, make it a milestone. Talk about it. And as I said in tip number 1 from the co-founders or founders and CEOs, really take the time to say thank you. Even as a director within your team, take the time to acknowledge when someone has achieved something great. But people love traditions, right? So really tap into your tradition of your company. How did you create it? Why did you create it? Is there any tradition? Did you, for example, like in my previous company, go bowling when you opened the business? Or did you meet each other as young people playing hockey? Whatever it is, make that part of the company tradition. Explain the why to your people and really make those days of celebrating a standard. You want people to be able to join them. You want people to be aware of when those dates happen and explain the why we're celebrating, what happened that day, what makes it so important, and really embed it as part of your values, your mission, and your culture. Tip number 3, it's not only about the business. As we said before, say thank you. So really think of your employee experience. Think of how would I feel if I had just recently joined the business. What kind of milestone, what kind of dates would be important? My first day onboarding, when you pass your probation period, your first performance review, maybe your first working anniversary, or the 5th or the 10th, or your birthday, or you having a baby, or you adopting a puppy, whatever it is, make sure you're tapping into those opportunities. Put them out there as people in culture and design a journey for each of your employees. And it's important that we're fair across the regions. Cannot be that in one region we do loads of things and in the other nothing happens, except if there's a cultural reason for that, like for example, religious celebrations. However, I recommend that you really look into your systems and explore how you can automatize all those processes, because ultimately you're growing and you have so many hours in the day. So think of email automation, Slack automation, and if you have an HR system, how can you push notifications automatically for work anniversaries and birthdays or promotions. And this is my favorite part always, design your editorial calendar. It's not a concept normally applicable to people in culture, but it's more from the marketing world. But it's important that we are aware of it. You need to have an editorial calendar, and you need to be kind to yourself. The year goes by like this. Loads of things are happening. A lot of activities are being implemented. A lot of milestones are happening. It is crazy. It can be crazy. When you're part of HR in a growing, fast-growing organization. But what I really recommend is that whatever tool you use, if you have an extra tool, or if it's something as basic as an Excel or your Gmail calendar, really sit down and define what is going to happen in January, February, March, April, check-ins, performance reviews, conversations, work anniversaries, company anniversaries, analyst relationships. Are you a public company? So what are your Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 results? Design that all, have it mapped out in a year calendar so you're really aware what you're celebrating. Are you celebrating Diwali, Hanukkah, holidays, Christmas, New Year's? What are you doing? What are your dates that you want to tap in? Girls That Code, women empowerment, Black History Month, whatever the milestones, the dates, the employee appreciation dates that you've defined that are part of your culture, your mission, and what you want to be doing in order to give people a sense of purpose and belonging, you write it down. You map it out in a clear calendar, share it with marketing, and that's when you have to start collaborating, partnering with marketing, partnering with people in culture, and creating some employees to be your brand ambassadors. Help them understand how to share on social media. It's really important. Create a frequent ask questions document per big event. Explain how to use hashtags, what things can be said, what things cannot be said, and train specifically people on comments and on how to react to maybe negative feedback. Do you want to tap into feedback and have conversations online with people that may criticize you? Do you want to ignore it? Do you want to block accounts? Do you want to delete? All of that has to be part of your strategy, and as a consequence, you need to help your people to be able to manage those situations. And here we are with little Antonia. She's moving around. So, editorial calendar for everyone. And this is the part where most HR teams are really crap at it. Communication, communication, communication. In fact, that's why someone like me is part of people in culture, because I have more in the recent experience, actually a marketing experience. The thing is, people in culture are busy all the time. You guys are doing an amazing job. We are doing an amazing job, really focusing on the employee, thinking about it, trying to improve, trying to accommodate everyone's needs, and everyone has a different situation, different needs, and it's been really, really clear during this last 2 years that everyone's situation is unique. But you're not sharing what you're doing, so start communicating what you're doing, how you're designing that employee experience. What are those milestones personally for the employees? What are the company milestones? Create like a guide with some tips and tricks of how to communicate certain things, which words you want to use, which words you want to avoid. Tap into your manifesto if you have one, into your mission, and try to use those words constantly to really bring it into the mission and the value, and share those words and help your employees understand what you're standing for and why are you doing things. The why is so important. So you're celebrating your company birthday. Why are you celebrating? What happened that day 10, 5, 15 years ago? How did you meet? Really bring those stories across, and there's not enough time to repeat. It's the only way that you really ingrain that message around the organization, especially when you're in hyper growth and when you're bringing in so many people, new people to the business. And of course, as in any organization, unfortunately, there will be people leaving. So you really need to bring that message across and communicate. How we communicate though is really important, and for that I really recommend that you sit down with IT, with marketing, and your whole people in culture team and think, how are we touching points with our people? Is it through the system? Is it via chat? Is there any other platform that we use aside from email or Outlook invites? Look at it and create a logic of when you email, when you chat, when you Slack, when you pop a notification in Workplace. It's really important that you put some thought behind it and put some order into how you're communicating what and why. And of course, as an employee appreciation strategy, you're doing lots of things inside, but it has to be shown outside. Otherwise, your potential candidates will never know. And this is the moment for you to shine, especially if you're doing things right. But there's one really important thing when we go on social media and share our vision, share our culture, share our events, our employee appreciation parties and activities and milestones and employee testimonials. They have to be true. You have to be truthful, because people go on Glassdoor. It's open there to read and to review. So make sure that you are portraying something that is really happening in your business. Otherwise, you will hire someone, go through the cost of recruiting, probably new hire packs, probably onboarding for 1 or 2 months, and people figure those things out quite soon, and then you have to start from zero. So being transparent and being truth to whatever you're doing in your organization, you know, you're doing it with the best of your knowledge. You're trying to design a culture that is including and supporting everyone within the business. Be sure that you are communicating that on social media in an accurate way so that there's no surprises. So a little recap. Say thank you. Define your company milestones and traditions. Define your employee experience and milestones. Get your editorial calendar running. Communicate internally. Go on social and share the truth. That's it. I hope you enjoyed my video, and you can read the full article in the link below.